Okay, I got my brake reservoir full of fluid. My brake pads are new. Okay. The way a brake system works, we got our caliper here. It's got a piston. This piston pushes out, squeezes the brake pads together, clamps down on this rotor, and that's what causes friction, causes stop. Okay. So my brake pads start wearing. Now, this piston has to be pushed in all the way for new brake pads, so it'll fit in there, so the whole system will fit together. As it starts wearing, you know, this caliper, you kind of see how it's kind of loose there just a little bit. This caliper, we have two caliper slides, and the caliper slides back and forth. As the brakes wear, it slides out. If this piston, after my brake pads, after I push on it, it wears a little pad down. If that piston would retract, what would happen is the next time I'd hit my brakes, the brakes would go 3/4 way to the floor, or maybe all the way to the floor, depending on how far our brakes were worn. And I'd have to pump it up to push this piston out to touch. What happens is, our system, we fill our reservoir, we put our new brake pad, or we put our new brake pads, we make sure our reservoir is full. All of a sudden we look and we say, hey, the reservoir is low. Well, what's happened is the fluid that was up there, my brake pads have worn. To keep this piston out, now this cavity here is full of fluid. So that when I touch my brake, I don't have a void spot to have to fill and then push the piston. So when my master cylinder is low, that means the fluid's all down here in this piston. If it's all my fluid's down here in this piston, that means I'm getting about ready where I need pads because my pad line wore out. And I'm going to be steel on steel here very shortly. Okay? Now, you just asked a question about leaks, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How do I, if my brake system's leaking? Brakes are under lots of pressure, you know, 1600 to 3200 psi. Okay. I got this little brake hose here, this little brake line here. I get a brake line that gets a rust hole in it with 3200 psi. When I push on the brakes, it's going to spray brake fluid clear across this room. Okay. So you saw that reservoir was real small up on the top, right? So if I got a line, I got a lot of pressure, and every time I touch my brake, I can squirt fluid across the room. How long do you think I'll be able to drive it with it? Just about across town. And then you'll be out of brake fluid, depending on how big the leak is. Okay? So to have somebody say, well, you need brake fluid and you might have a small leak. No, they're wrong. Okay? There's no small leak in a brake system. Okay? If it has a leak, it's pumping fluid out, and by the time you get across town, you're going to be out of brake fluid. So the only way we're going to ever have to add brake fluid is if I got a leak, and I'm going to know because they pumped all the fluid out before I got across town.
Probably have a red light too, right?
Yeah, you're going to have a red light when it's so low. Or I need to have my brakes inspected. Okay? So never let anybody just add brake fluid. I don't want my brake fluid added. When somebody says you need brake fluid, you need to add some brake fluid, you need to say, I need to find a different shop and somebody that knows what they're doing and will inspect my brakes properly. If you just want to add fluid, I don't want you touching my car.
So when they replace the pads, that fluid goes back up into the reservoir.
To replace the pads, you know, when the piston came out, now to be able to put our pads back in, the mechanic is going to push that piston back in. We push that piston back in, of course, with all this fluid that's in this cavity, where?
Goes back in the reservoir.
Back up into the reservoir. Now I'm full of fluid again. Now if I fill it up with fluid, and then 3 weeks later, my brakes start grinding, and my mechanic takes and he goes, puts brakes on, he's putting brakes on here, and he's squeezing the piston in, and then he's looking, he's like, ah, no! As you see, brake fluid all run down, and brake fluid is very corrosive. Okay? It won't eat the paint off it right now, but if it's left on, it will eat the paint off of whatever it's on, or wiring. We see it from time to time because there's wiring around that somebody slobbers a bunch of brake fluid on or something for some reason, and it'll eat the plastic on the wires. So have wiring issues. So we don't want that. So brake fluid we never add. Should never have to add brake fluid, right? Right. And transmission fluid too, right?
Okay. He put you on the spot there, didn't he?
I just see if she was paying attention from earlier.